What is up, my viewers? Welcome to Bubba's Hub. For this video, I wanted to let y'all know how to properly clean your weapons after a good range day. Now, the stuff you're going to be using, believe it or not, it's only a few things you're going to need for both pistols as well as rifles. Now, you're going to need your standard cleaning kit. And the best part of all, some Q-tips. And yes, this will work. So obviously we're gonna go and start out with the rifle because it's gonna be obviously taking the most to do. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way real quick. Now, like all weapons, you want to make sure that they are empty, clear, safe, all that good stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure it's clear. Safety's on clearly. No rounds in the chamber. Now, so we're gonna go ahead and disassemble this real quick because we gotta get on the inside of this weapon to take care of it. So for those of you not gonna assault your intelligence, there is a little pins on the sides here, and here that you must pull out in order to break them apart from the lower and the upper so that you can actually get to the inside of the pieces right there, the bolt and the buffer springs, all that good jazz. So let's go and take it apart real quick and we'll go ahead and get started on the cleaning, and I'll show you just how simple this can be. And if you just need a quick wipe down, this also will work as well. But if you want to go into a thorough clean down for the interior as well as the exterior of the weapon, go ahead and apply these tips as well. We already know it's clear. Let's go ahead and disassemble it real quick. We're gonna push that little button right there, pull that little pin. And if you just pull the one out, it obviously just pulls like such. Up and lower. Oh. Upper and lower, see? Now, let's go ahead and take out this other one as well, because we're gonna actually do the star chamber. There we go. So that's the upper, and then we got the lower right here. This is what you're gonna be getting on the interior right there with the Q-tips. Like, I'll show you that in a little bit. So this will probably right here. This is the easiest part that you can clean, but you want to focus on the actual stuff first. So we're just going to put that to the side real quick. Now the actual bolt and everything is actually going to be on the inside right here. So grab the little pull rod right here and charging handle, and it actually will slide out the actual pieces that you can actually get to work on. So let's put that down to the side real quick. Now, let's go ahead and let's see how this is gonna look. Now, as I said before, you only need a few of the essentials. So if you were to open up your cleaning kit, a few things you're gonna need. You're gonna need a rag to wipe down the carbon with, a bore snake, a brush that you're not going to use on your teeth. So you want to, yes, this is a dental pick right here. Now you want them to be two. You're going to see one right here that's bent and one that is straight. And I'll show you why later on when we get to the star chambers and everything else. And then of course you got your Q-tips. And finally, some COP or any kind of lubricant to wipe down your weapon with. So these right here are the essentials that you would need for pistols as well as long range weapons. And for quick wipe downs and even thorough cleaning. Now there's a lot of stuff that you could be using as well, but in the field or even at the gun range or even in your own home like I'm doing right now, these right here will definitely take care of the cleaning that you need to per your weapon system as well. So let's go and get started. So I like to start obviously with the interior and work my way out of the weapon system. So we're gonna go ahead and start out with the bolt right here. And this actually needs to come out. So there's a few different pieces. Make sure if you are gonna be cleaning your weapon system, you keep all the little pieces of together, because if you lose them, then you're gonna basically not make your weapon functional when you put it back together, and you'll realize, oh wait, why isn't it firing? Because you're probably missing the piece. So what I like to do is If I'm in my house, then it's totally fine because I actually got my table right here, so I can just put it all together. If I'm outside at the range, I typically will use my cleaning kit because it's open right here. And I just put all the pieces in here so I know they're not going to go anywhere. But I always start with the bolt first, and going to take out the firing pin. Let's see. And these tools are good because they can actually help you out taking things apart as well. A lot faster than your average. There we go. I have no nails, so I'll make sure I keep all the pieces together as I take them apart to do the actual wipe down. And as you can see, I'm already getting a little dirty, but that's normal. It's good to have that because there we go. And I got the firing pin right here. As you can see, it does need to get wiped down. All right, so now that we got that out, the firing pin, take this little guy out real quick. I have no nails. There we go. Ah. So if you see these pieces right here, this is as far as you will take apart your weapon on the interior. You got the actual bolt right here, then that, firing pin cap, and the actual right here. That's as far as you're gonna go to take it apart, to start wiping it down to make sure it's good to go for your next range day, to keep it nice and clean. So as you can see how dirty it is, we're gonna go ahead and get that a little clean because that's actually looking a little nasty. But I always start out with this one because it doesn't take that long to do it. Well, good wipe down, and there's a little carbon buildup. That is what you can use the dental pick for. Get all that carbon off. And now obviously your hands are going to be covered in carbon as well. That's actually normal. So if you think you haven't wiped it all off, you actually did. It's just you're putting it right back on with your hands. That's okay, that's normal. So just going to continue to wipe. As you can see, towards the bottom, there's still the carbon built up right there. That is actually what the dental pick is for. So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and get that there and just give it a little scrape. And you'll see the carbon actually coming off. So now normal ways of cleaning a weapon, you can be doing this especially for rifles, and however many rounds you put down range. You could be doing this for probably a good couple of hours because it builds up really fast. And then of course, getting all the carbon off is actually what's going to be. Now a quick wipe down, that doesn't take long. That takes maybe a good 10 minutes of a good wipe down on the interior as well as the exterior for your next range time. If you're just trying to be hasty and just wanted to be able to function the next time, but you at least got all the carbon off, then that's all you gotta do. Now, so as you can see, we got the carbon off as well. So this actually is ready to go. I'm pretty much doing what I'm doing right now. If you're wondering, I'm doing a hasty clean. We're gonna hit up the range again, so I just wanna make sure that it's good and get all the carbon built up out. And that is actually ready to go. If I wanted to have it to pass weapons inspections, then I would be spending a lot more time on this. But I'm not gonna bore you all with a very long video. I want y'all to see that these are the basic things you can do to wipe it down. Got the interior right here now. So this is what's gonna go. So it's gonna basically, I'm gonna work on each one of these pieces, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3 tops per, if I'm doing a quick wipe down. Now the interior right here, you also want to focus on this as well because this is where all the work happens. This is all the rounds come in and out of. So I'm gonna get a lot built up in this as well. So when I'm done with the actual interior of this, it's all wiped down, I move on to the actual upper receiver and I start doing a good wipe down the inside as much as I can do. Obviously it's a very tight squeeze, so you're gonna have a pretty tough time getting this all out, especially around the star chamber area. Now, that is actually where the toothbrush comes into place. So, because I know I can get some Q-tips in there as well, but I just want to at least try and break it all up out of there, and I can wipe it all actually out as well. So, breaking all that up like there, because I can actually scrub off that carbon. I can already see some of it coming off. There we go. Now I normally like to get right up in there. Now you can't obviously get as low as you can. That is actually where, once I have a good interior wipe down, then I'm gonna then start going for the Q-tips. Now you might want to get a good 750-pound box. You can do 500, it doesn't really matter, but you need a lot of these, I promise you, because you're gonna go through this, no, like how clean this is, all right? And then you're gonna see why. I'm just doing a little wiping. I'm not even really going all into it yet, but just a little wipey wipe. And look at this. And I just barely even wiped it, and I already got all that built up on it. So then I can just easily rotate over. Now we're doing the opposite side. And there we go. Get in there. Opposite side. Yes, and that's just one. I'm gonna go through a lot of these when I clean this weapon fully. Obviously off of the video, of course. I'm just showing you all how it can actually be done really quick. Now the actual dental pick, this is the star chamber thing I was actually talking to you all about. If you can see, it's very tight in that little window right there, the injection port. This is the dust cover right here actually. But you want it open, okay? So there is the pointy and then there's the actual hook. Now, obviously, you're gonna have it in your lap if you can, man, and then that way you're able to actually get up in there. That's what the hook is for, because you're gonna want to clean around the star chamber. You're gonna have some carbon buildup, so as you can see, there is nothing on the tip of this. But let's go ahead and dig a little. Let's see. Let's get in there. Shouldn't be too bad, but we can see if we can get some carbon out of here. Let's see. Look at that. There you go. Yeah. That was just barely even wiping in there. And that is also what the rag is for too. Now, if you have your own clothing, if you have some just don't even care, dirty clothes, just wipe it on your shirt real quick and you can keep going back to work. Now, that is if you're doing the hooks, which is the actual interior of the star chamber. Now, when you're actually looking down the actual barrel, you can actually take the tip part, the pointy one, and you can actually go on the inseam of the star chamber. And then you can get it. Look at that, I barely even touched it, and you can already see some on there as well. Now, that is so once you do the interior, you do the star chamber, you do the all the little bolt action area as well that fires that holds the actual round. Then you can go onto your sorry, let's not gonna skip a step. Then you can go onto your actual bore snake. So this is pretty cool, and believe it or not, this I've actually used on pistols as well, even though they're not the same barrel, it still does a pretty good job. I found that out, just did a little experiment. Let's test it out, and it actually did work. So nothing wrong with that at all. So it's pretty cool. And for those of you who've never used one before, this right here is like the tip of the bore snake. It's a little heavy, so you can actually put it right in the star chamber and just keep feeding it. You're gonna probably have some resistance because there's gonna be carbon built up inside the actual barrel itself. So you can see how slow it's barely going in there. And I'm gonna keep going until I actually see it come down to the tip of the barrel. Eventually it will make its way through. Let's just keep going until I actually see it. Once you actually do see it, come on. Come on. Like I said, carbon buildup, and it's gonna take a minute to get down there. And I'm just keep feeding, keep feeding. And I'm actually waiting to see it too. I'm like running out of snake. There, let's go, keep going. Keep going. This is the boring part of the video, I'm telling you right now. And it's a pain in the ass one too, especially if you've been doing a lot of rounds down the range. Because it's just gonna feel like it's not even going in, but it really is just slowly with resistance, because that barrel is probably just built up of so much carbon in it. I'm trying to get this all to the end so you can actually see what it actually looks like. Yeah, let's get the, yeah, there we go. And you're gonna see how much, well, as soon as I get to the tip of the barrel, once I get to the actual tip, you're gonna see how freaking much of resistance that this thing gives. As soon as I get the tip, there it is. So once you get to the tip, you can see how long it took me to actually do that. That's how much carbon is there. All you gotta do is grab this tip, and you're gonna see the bore snake just start to move. And you just pull. What I usually do is wrap it around my finger so I have more power, and I just start pulling, and I get more in. Careful, because you can pull this easily towards you. And it's okay that it's a struggle, but it's supposed to be because you're cleaning the barrel. Yeah, that's how that works. Okay, so let's see. Let's take a look. Let's see. Do we have any light? Okay, so actually, what I like to do is actually look through the star barrel towards some type of light. Even though the weapon is not assembled, some people will still feel a little on edge if you're pointing at them with your weapon, and you're just doing nothing. You're doing anything. It's harmless. You're just looking to make sure your barrel is actually clean. And then you're gonna see actually real quick how fast this is when it actually is clean. Now, you know what? I don't even make a liar. But I was gonna put it down the barrel just so you can see how much faster it goes when it's actually clean. The second time you go through, but you saw how long it took just to do it the first time. But I don't need to prove it because clearly you'll find out yourself when you actually do it. Next, once I'm done with that, I just focus on the lower. It's pretty simple. I just like to focus on the interior, and I want to make sure I get under the trigger as well. So what I like to do is I take it off safe, put it on fire, and I make sure I hold the, this is the hammer right here. This is what goes forward to hit the actual firing pin to hit the cartridge. So then I actually pull the trigger, and then I can clean underneath as well. And that I usually will use Q-tip as well because you can actually get up in there and it won't be as much carbon buildup, but there will be a lot of dirt, a lot of dust. Once you're done, put it back together, then you're able to just go ahead and reassemble it. Same thing goes for the weapon system. Take it apart, clean it. It doesn't take that long. But these are the pretty much essentials, like I said. And then when you're done, you can oil it up. After you got done wiping it down, put it right there, and then you just let it sit overnight while it's oiled up. And in the morning, if you want to take it apart real quick and wipe it down, and before you go to the range, you'll have a more clear, smooth action. You can also do the buffer spring. So I like to do a little trick. I like to get the actual charging handle, and there's a little button. For those of you who've used your rifles before, there's a little button just before it, right on the bottom. And what I like to do to catch it, I just use the tip of this right on top, and I push down. See how I caught it? And then all I gotta do is pull up, and now I can clean it. And then I oil it up, I put it right back. After I wiped it down, push it down until it locks. And then you're good to go. So I didn't want to do a long video, but I want you to let you know, just doing the basic cleaning on your weapons. And if you're gonna go hit up the range, it does not take that long with just these few essential items: buffer spring, oil, toothbrush, dental pick, and Q-tips. And of course, your rag. So y'all need, like if you're gonna go to the range, just give it a try. Get these basic items, and then you can go ahead and add more to your actual cleaning kit. There's other things out there to actually build towards cleaning your weapons properly. But if you want to just do a quick wipe down, these right here would be the essential items that you can use for pistols as well as rifles to have a good time at the range. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. If you have anything you want to say in the comments, please let me know. I'm always welcome to feedback. Please let me know. I hope you all have a good day and enjoy your guys' next range day. I got more videos coming up for you, more action. Y'all tune in.